Hello, this is Lisa Hazard and Misty Lore with We're All Psychic. How are you today, Misty? Or
I'm
tonight?
good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. It is January the 16th at 8:54 p.m. Central Time. Misty, do you still think we're all psychic?
Yes.
Let me think about it. You want to
Yeah.
ask me? You want to ask me if I
Do
think
you think we're all psychic?
I do still.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Okay.
it's a shock. It's a shock. Oh my gosh.
I know.
So for this topic today, we're going to talk about working as a professional psychic reader or healer or any kind of like energy work professional, doing it for money. And a lot of people wonder about why people who are psychic would, is this gift? Why don't you just do it for free? Or so a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and other people are like, why do you ask so much? Or why don't you ask more? What's this? How is it priced? How does it work? I mean,
hmm
what did you used to think about, like, before you actually went to psychics and stuff? What did you think about paying for a psychic reading or anything like that?
Um, like I believed in psychics and I believe that we have the ability, my whole life I believe that. But like for instance, I remember when I first met you and you said that you did an online 1-800 psychic thing. And I was like, you don't really? And I was really genuinely surprised that they actually had people there that really were psychic. Like I thought that it was just a big way to get people to call and make money off of them, really.
You
But
did? Yeah.
I did. I did. And now that I have, met you and see how you do it and how it works, like I'm amazed. I love it.
I do too, and, I was really surprised too, but I think I mentioned earlier, like, maybe the first few podcasts about, like, a little bit about my history working as a professional. And I mean, there's just a lot to like think about. Like before I applied for my first, well, actually, I did get hired with a company when I lived in Phoenix in about 2005, and I don't remember. I know I can't remember the year, but it was whatever year Katrina hit because I picked the name Katrina, and then Katrina tore down that whole part of the southeast, and I was like,
Oh no.
I don't know if I want that name. And they called me back because I called them after my first day. I logged in for about an hour. I didn't get any calls. And then I just freaked out. So I called them and said, I just can't do this. And they said, why? I said, well, it's because I named myself Katrina and that happened. And I just don't know. This just doesn't feel right to me. That just doesn't feel good, you know? So, and I was scared. I was scared. I didn't know if I could do this, if I would give people good advice, and I didn't know, like, I'd done a lot of readings for friends and stuff like that, but I'd never done it professionally. And I didn't feel ready. I really wasn't when I look back. But when I really did start working, I mean, back then I was thinking about, like, what about the ethics of it? What if I tell people like something and it doesn't happen, it happens the other way and they are heartbroken? Or what if like they don't understand that I want to help them? That's my sincere goal. And I think
You
that's
mean self
most
doubt?
readers.
Is
Self
that what you're saying?
doubt. We all have self
Self
doubt.
doubt.
Self doubt. Definite self-doubt. But then I worked as a writer and editor and then a ghostwriter. I did ghostwriting after I worked professionally as a psychic. But I started out in, I think, 2010 or 11 with a big company, really big, well-known company. And I got call after call. I worked the night shift for about a year and a half. I worked from around 11 to midnight till about 7 to 11 in the morning. I would work and work and work all night long. And sometimes I would just stop late, early, like around 3 or 4. That was early, I was tired or something, but I usually stayed up. And I burned out, and I made good
Yeah.
money, and that was good. And the people, they had a forum for this particular line, and it was my first one. I didn't know. I thought they all had forums. And I got to know some of the psychics, which was really cool because I never talked to any other psychic people or
Yeah.
anyone who practiced any kind of energy, anything except for my old therapist. And she hadn't, she didn't reveal to me how into energy work she was until we talked much later in life. But she was a Reiki. She worked with Reiki. I don't think she progressed to the master level. She just wanted to use it, work with it for her friends and family. But that's the first time
Yeah.
I'd heard of stuff like Reiki. She's the first person, other than, like, maybe I was drinking and told somebody I think I'm psychic. But I told
Yeah.
her.
Right.
She's the
Uh-huh.
first person that wasn't, close friends and family that I was like, look, I think I'm psychic. And she's like, you think psychic? Really? She listened to me, talked to me about it because I didn't, at that time, and I was in Phoenix and I was talking to her on the phone at my friend's house at a party. I just had to call her. I was like, I'm
Uh,
psychic. What am I going to do about it? This just happened and it came true. And I had a few too. And
hey, you
she
had to
was
do
the
it,
best.
right?
She's the best therapist that ever existed, probably. Anyway, she took it. She listened, and she, when I came back and told her and when I got that job with the big line I was talking about a minute ago, she was like, "Ah, nobody's better for that than you. I knew you'd do it that way somehow. Get there and there somehow working." So this company, they charged a lot for someone to do a reading, and they put you at your pay scale. We didn't pick our pay scale. They just put us at a pay scale, and we got a percentage of that per minute rate. So
Right.
after and I had done some work like at shops and stuff or fairs or whatever, but it's not the same thing as being on the phone, like taking reading after reading after reading for hours and hours. And sometimes it's a
Right.
5 minute phone call. Sometimes it's this great 2 hour call where you really get into it. And it's all different. But I burned out and they fired me.
I bet.
Yeah, they gave me a break because I told them I was burning out. They gave me a 2-week break, and then I kept working for a couple more months, and then I just stopped logging in about 2 weeks, and they just fired me. So then I worked for then I did a few other things. I worked for a video company, and this company, the way they worked was that I would be on a screen like we are, like on Zoom, but it would just be me. And then on the right side, there'd be a chat log. And anybody could come into the free chat room and I can do readings and try to entice them into a trade reading. But I couldn't do that. I just want to give them all
Yeah, I don't
readings.
see
I was
that.
like, well, you want to know
I
this,
don't
you want to
see
know
that with you at
that.
all.
I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. I couldn't entice them.
No.
And so I
No.
didn't,
You're
that didn't
not.
work
That's
out.
not for
Yeah.
you.
Nah, it didn't work for me. And then I worked for another bigger line, was a competitor of the first one I worked for, and that didn't work out. I could only work during the afternoons, calls weren't happening, and I started feeling like I wanted to do ghostwriting, and so that's what I pursued. But this is what I'd like to come up to. Like, I started at the same time as ghostwriting, I started doing local readings just in Delano Park in Decatur. If the listeners, Delano Park is just a beautiful park in, I guess if our town has a downtown kind of area, it's kind of downtown.
Right.
It's in the nice historic district, and I would always take like I have a big crystal collection. I'd pile my tarot bag full of rocks, and like have rocks laying all over the cards because there's a lot of wind in the park, sometimes. So I'd be sitting there like, hold that card down while I get a rock, you know?
Right.
and
You do
so
what you got to do.
yeah, and I had nowhere to do it. I couldn't do it at my house. There's just nowhere to do it here. And plus, at that
That
time, I was
sounds
like,
fun.
strangers in my house. I don't know what these people are about. I don't know what's good because I didn't know. I'd never done it in person.
Well,
But I
yeah.
but then I made some really great in-person clients, and I don't charge too much compared to the lines in person locally for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's preferable to me to do it in person for one thing, and in our area, a lot of people don't have a whole lot, to spend on a psychic reading. And I tried to be like around the same prices that other people were at in the area. And actually, what I found out is I was pricing myself a little higher than most people. I didn't even know anyone in the area did this at first. Like this is like 2012, 2013, 2014. And
Yeah.
then around 2018, it was May of 2018, I just felt called. I can't explain it any other way. I had to be a psychic reader again. I had to. Could stop doing it. My friends Bunny and Megan uh, helped me out. I built a little app. It was a little app that you could put on an Android phone and download from the store called Psychic Cat. And we just did free readings on it. So like Bunny has a lot of friends and she told them all to go there. So we had readings to do all the time. You have people, because if you look in the Android store for a psychic app, there's a gosh darn million of them. You have to
Yeah. I
dig
know,
for it.
right?
And
Uh,
yes, we did that for a few months. And I don't have much money, and I didn't then for sure. Especially because I had the calling and I couldn't do any of my other work. And
right.
I don't know. I didn't feel like felt like it was so cheesy to call it a calling, but it's like I kept being pulled to get back into this, go back into it,
It
go
is
back,
a
just
calling.
advertise. It was then, but before it was like I want to, but now, but that time in 2018, it's like I must. And that was also Morgana had died on the solstice in 2017, the winter solstice, And she had been getting closer. I've been communicating with her more and more and building that relationship with her because that was a process to realize that was real. That was happening.
Yeah.
My cat Morgana after she passed, and she was the one in 2018 of May of 2018 who was like, "Come on, let's do some pet reads. Let's find some lost pets. Let's help some pets." And that's why I had done that, and she helped me with people too. And so I couldn't pay for the app after a few months, and I did try a couple other companies. I tried probably 3 or 4 over the last few years, 2 years since then, to see a good fit, and I haven't been able to find one. I started with some startups, and they didn't really work out. But like where I'm at right now, as far as paid readings, is I work for Amethyst Sage in Hartsville. And I do that in person usually, but I don't want to do in person readings during COVID. So I haven't been doing in person readings. But people from the shop, some of them will still do phone calls. But mostly around here, people want to do in person. So I haven't had too many
Yeah.
locals, which I really miss
Hmm.
because I love my people that I had around here. I just miss them so much. I miss that
And
shop
you
so
don't get
much.
to feel their energy
I
either.
know. Well, I can
You know.
feel it, but it's different than looking at someone. It's like looking at you on Zoom while we're talking even makes a difference.
Yeah.
I can still feel them on the phone, but it's like that when you look at someone and you just like immediately you can form. But like picking up the phone, I can't always get that bond right away. It takes a minute, especially if I'm
Yeah.
nervous. But I also work on Everclear, and it's an app. Let's see, on the Android store, it's empath and psychic tarot reading guidance and insight by Everclear. So that's on the Android. And on the App Store is Empath and Psychic Tarot Reading, advice from Everclear Advisors. So they had different names on the two different platforms, but the icon's like a mint green color with a white circle. So I got hired by them in December of last year, and they were a startup. They hadn't opened yet. They hadn't started offering business yet. They were collecting their advisors to have someone to start with. And they are the best company I've worked for by far. I mean, especially at the phone lines. Other than I'm at the stage, it's the best place. I mean, I can't tell you. They let us set our rates. They let us take breaks. There's no pressure on us if we don't log in. They're real communicative. I've been impressed with them since day one. And the way the platform is laid out is insanely intelligent. I think AI run it actually. I don't know. It's really great, and the people that I've talked to in an official capacity within the company itself they're great. We have a forum, and I've gotten to know some of the psychics on that forum, and so it's been a little over a year now, but their business, they've been slowly building and testing stuff. I love business though. You know that, Missy. I
Oh
love
yeah.
business. I'm a Taurus. So I think that's that Taurus part of me. I just love to know about businesses and what makes them work and what doesn't. That's like being a jeweler. Doing my own
Yeah.
jewelry business has been a lot
You've
of
done
fun. You
so many
figuring that
things.
stuff
Yeah.
out. Yeah. And writing is your own
Yeah.
business. And so I've been really impressed with them. I mean, you'd have to fire me to get me off that app.
Well, you know what? That says a lot about a company because you've worked for all of them before.
Most of them
You
I
know,
have. Yeah, I
you've
have
done it.
actually.
And so for you to say that you're happy with them and, you know, you've been with them for over a year, that says a lot just right there.
I couldn't be happier with where I'm at professionally, except if COVID weren't here. I mean, if COVID weren't here, everybody'd be happier, hopefully, in some way,
Of
maybe.
course.
But I mean, because I really miss the shop. I miss my room, my little private
You
room,
had a
my
cool room and
chairs and
stuff.
my tapestries. I still do. I just haven't been in there. It's still
I
there.
know.
It's waiting. It's waiting for COVID to
Gosh,
go.
for a year.
um, but Misty, like when so listeners, I think we've talked about this before, but if you're new to this particular podcast, this episode, and you haven't heard it before, but Misty had taken my tarot class at when I did work at Amethyst Stage before COVID. And she's since then begun to give her own readings and accept payment for some of them. So how did you feel the first time you asked for payment for a reading, Misty?
Um, I've only done a couple that I've actually requested money for because I felt like, I was still learning and
Yeah.
but I started to get really good at it and I was like, hey, I might be able to do this for a living, so I am still like working on that. But you know what? Everybody has a talent and almost everybody gets paid for that talent. And I think that being psychic is no different. like I don't think that we get paid gobs of money, but I think we should make a living, a comfortable living at least. If we're devoting all our time into something, then we should get paid for it, but we're also helping people as we get paid for it. So it would be like a musician that plays music. Yes, they love to do it and they would play for free, in front of their friends and family, but eventually, they're going to want to make some money out of it, so they don't have to do other things. They can focus on their talent. So
Exactly. Yeah.
that's how I feel about it right now.
That's how I feel about it too. I mean, but now that you've been doing it, let's see, you took my tarot class February and March until boom, shut down. And I know you've
Right.
been offering them here and there ever since then. And you've offered me some that have just, whoa, blow me away. I love a reading though. I do. I love a reading. I'll never say no to a reading. And I was like, I want to ask Misty for a reading. Will she mind? Well,
I
I
know,
asked April
right?
for a reading. Will she mind? I asked Akasha for a reading. Will she mind? And I was always like, oh no,
You know
I
what?
don't need a
Yeah. I
reading.
mean,
I
the
just
first
want
time
one.
you asked me, well, the first time you asked me, I was so uh like impressed. I was like, wow, she's asking me for a reading. Oh my gosh, I can't
Really?
wait.
No, you're
Yes.
awesome. You're just super. You picked that stuff up, and she's shown me pictures, listeners. When I teach my tarot class, I use the Rider Waite traditional deck, and she has her Rider Waite deck with all these little notes on them and stuff like to tell her like keywords and stuff. Like when you show me the pictures, I was like, "That's brilliant!" That's a really good
Yeah.
idea. I think that's like
Yeah.
excellent. You
And
really
I
studied.
suggest that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Well, and I suggest that too to anybody. It doesn't matter what kind of deck you're working with. You can do it with any deck. But I just went online and I looked up prints of the card, mini prints of the cards layouts, and I think I paid like $3 or $4 for it. But I can
Oh,
like get it
okay.
anytime I want and print it
That's
out.
awesome. Yeah.
So I just cut it out into little bitty, it's small, so I do a little bitty piece, that tells me a few meanings of the card that's upright, and then on the bottom I do the reversed. And it has helped me so much. It's so much faster than to having to, stop and, get my book and read the meanings, and I learn faster that way. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. It is
Yeah, and
so worth it.
how did you get the notes to stick on the card deck without messing up the shuffling and stuff?
I just did it with tape.
Tape? Okay. Right. Whoa,
I
that's
did it
good.
with
Must be
regular
thin paper.
tape.
She's crafty.
And
She's
and
crafty.
and I can rip it off without messing the cards up. But there's got to be a better way of doing it. I would love to maybe laminate it, on there. That would probably be better.
Oh, that's a
Um,
good idea. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like get a
maybe I'll
heavy
try that
gloss.
next
Yeah.
time. But yeah, I've had fun with it,
That's
and
awesome.
it's really really helped me a lot faster.
So now that you've been doing readings, what is your goal when you give a reading? Like when you go to anybody who asks you for a reading, what is your aim?
Well, usually the people that have come to me, it's been basically word of mouth, which basically is anybody that's doing something that they're good at. It's that's how you start is word of mouth,
Yeah.
and I would say I've done several readings, but they all have had um, a lot of trouble in their life. And I would do a reading, and they wouldn't tell me anything that was going on, but yet I would read it from the cards and they would be blown away. They were like, how did you know that? And it's
Yeah.
exciting to me.
So there's
It's
a part of you that's
exciting.
like, really, I did it. Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah. Like it
This is
builds my
real.
confidence. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
am doing this, and but really in the end of it, I just feel good that I've helped that person,
That is a
figure
healer.
out
That's
what
a
it is it
healer's
was.
goal. That's a healer's goal.
Yeah.
And everybody I've worked with professionally and gotten to know in this field, even if they're not doing it professionally, when they give a reading, that's why they're doing it. They want to help.
Yeah.
And they want to help. That's all they want to do. I had
Yeah, and
never
that's
had
basically
friends
what
who
I've been
were
doing.
evil psychic. I've never met anybody like that. But I mean, everyone I
Yeah.
know who reads professionally and is good at it and has a career even at it, they want to help, and that is the goal. So, you know, I think
And,
like seeing you do it, that's definitely your goal in life. I seems like is to help people feel better.
and that's
Yeah,
what I was fixing to say. That's my thing. I love to help people. And
I do too.
so, in a way, it's right up my alley, and I don't know if I'll ever, you know, I don't know what the future holds, but like I said, I have fun doing it. And I also have fun doing it for me when I'm trying to figure stuff out in my life. Like,
Yes,
I did one I I do it on my family members sometimes
me too.
when they're going through something,
Yeah, yeah.
and I kind of want to know what they're going through.
Or
Like I'll
find
do
ways
one,
to help them. If they're not talking about
right,
it, like, well,
and
they're doing, yeah, what can I do to help? Yeah.
like
Y-
just how are they feeling, and like
Yeah.
it comes out like so naturally. Like I never in a million years thought that I could do that, but it's like I don't know if it that works that way for everybody, but for me, it was just like it just comes so naturally, and so easy.
Yeah. You were lucky too. Your mother was like my mother, very open to any of those things. I think your mother even
Right.
worked with some of that stuff when she was younger
She
too,
loved
right?
maroons. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
did the
runes,
room.
yeah.
Yeah.
um well, I guess I just wanted to do a podcast to let people know what it's like, to do it professionally for money from my point of view. And like I told you about Everclear, I want to tell you a little story about them, which is very exciting for me and Misty too, hopefully. Um, but I had written them a while back and asked them if they would sponsor the podcast. And I told them it was because I admire their company and I would actually like to advertise for them because they're awesome. And
She's
we're
very picky, guys. Very picky.
yeah. And we're working out a deal right now. It looks like it's going to happen. And actually, we have some psychics from Everclear coming for us for the next few weeks. We probably onward. They're going to be. We have, I think, 3 or 4 people lined up already from the platform to come
Mhm.
in the next couple weeks. Oh, Gandalf, don't walk on my keyboard.
Yeah, we're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah,
Like
it's going
I
to be
am
great.
so excited about,
Oh, I can't wait
a
to
lot
interview
of
them and
these.
find out this. They're going to talk about past lives, and we're going to talk
Oh
about,
yes,
yeah, the
that's
past
my
life
favorite.
regression stuff. I know that's why I brought that one up first. We have like somebody who's got the witchcraft history and path, and she's funny. And it's gonna be fun, and hopefully this is
Yes,
unique. I
I
gave
am
her the
so
time; she'll be able
excited.
to be there, and everybody who listens, you're gonna get like content that will blow you away. Look at me selling it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true though. I am
I think it was.
excited.
I'm so excited. I get to talk to these people. Oh,
I know. And guys, we're not making any money off this. I mean, we're
no,
just doing
no.
it for fun
Everclear, they
and
will
to help
sponsor. Yeah,
people,
everything Everclear
you
gives me is going
know.
to be put back into the podcast. As far as
And
when
it
it's
already
concerned.
has. I mean,
Yeah,
we're making enough to do our Zoom,
yeah, yeah. I can do
and we're
Zoom
excited about
without the
that.
timer, the 40-minute timer going off.
Yes.
All right when we're getting all into it and everything's coming out, all the secrets. But we have no time limit now, so we'll just have a podcast that lasts 24 hours, I guess, because I'm not
Yeah,
stopping
I
anytime
know.
soon.
I know. I know. And that's what, that's why I love working with Lisa too, because well, first of all, she's brilliant and I've learned so much from her. But now, like when she interviews other people, I get to learn even more. And I love to ask them questions. Like for all you listeners that, you know, you have questions, and I probably have the questions that you want answered. So I will ask them,
You
I
do. You know the
promise you I
questions.
will,
Yes, you will.
because I
And
love to pick their brains apart. So I am so excited to be a part of it. It's just awesome. It's going to help people. It's going to make people really think about certain topics and explain certain things, and it's going to be awesome.
I think it will too. I know. I'm so glad. I'm so excited about all of it. And listeners, I want to say thank you for being there. If it weren't for you, Misty and I wouldn't have this opportunity to get to know all these psychics and find out even more about mysteries of energy work. from other people that we don't even know who've been
Mhm.
involved. And anybody who wants to be out on the podcast, anyone out there who's interested, you can always write me at Lisa at weareallpsychic.com, and that's Lisa. And you can visit the website, www.weareallpsychic.com, and send a contact form message too, if you want, be on the podcast, or just if you want to ask some questions, go ahead and email me. I'd love to hear from you. Missy,
Yes. And she will answer. I promise you she will answer.
if it gets to me, sometimes email, you never know. Try twice if I don't answer.
Right, right.
and thank
Resend
And
it.
Misty, I just want to say thank you to you. You have been the best co-host ever in the world, and you've been there in the worst times. That everything's chaos. I'm there. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
there for that podcast. Like,
Hey,
wow.
I love it. Like,
I
this
do
is
too.
right up my alley.
Me
I
too.
love it.
and
You
listeners,
know,
thank you for listening. Misty, thank you for being a part of this, and we have a lot more fun coming for you. Would you like
thank
to say
you.
goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful week.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful week too. I just said the same word two times two.
Times two. Times four.
Peace out.